Are you looking to know how much needle felting costs? If so, you're on the right video because today I'm going to share with you some price of needle felting tools, if it's cheap, if it's expensive, and more. Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. How much does needle felt cost? My name is Iceland and I'll be your fiber artist host, and on this channel, Snowflake Forest Felting, I share needle felting videos, have needle felting tutorials, and share product reviews from time to time. So if you're new and this interests you, please consider subscribing. And if you want to know more about anything you see here on this channel, be sure and check the links down in the description below this video or leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you there. And as always, please share my videos where you can if you think they might help someone. Now let's get to today's video. So to start, let's talk about some needle felting kits, the tools, and we'll get to more of this stuff here. So if you're a beginner and don't have any needle felting supplies yet, you might be thinking about getting a kit. And these are a great way to get started. I'm going to have one link down in the description below for you that I do recommend. There are some things to factor though when getting a kit. You're not going to get to individually pick out all the tools that you're using. You're not going to individually get to pick out all the types of wool. And it might come with some stuff that you don't want, that you're paying a little bit of cost towards that. This one that I'm linking is only $20, and that is an incredibly great price just to give needle felting a try. It's not going to hurt your wallet, and then that way you can decide if you do like it or not and you want to invest in it more, and some other products to add to that little kit that you've gotten. This kit is going to have 36 different colors of real wool, and that's number one most important, I think, when we're talking about needle felting, is the quality of wool can vary. It's going to vary between breeds, and even if you maybe come across a wool that's acrylic and not pure wool. Acrylics are going to be hard to felt. They're not going to look as nice as an end result. So when you're searching for wool, really look for 100% real wool. That's going to make felting so much easier for you. Another thing to think about is when you get this kit, the foam piece is not that big. The bigger the foam piece you have, the easier it's going to be to work. This kit is also going to have some eye pins for you if you're wanting to make any little critters, especially with the array of wool colors. You'll have some options to make some fun things. And it's also going to have a pair of trimmers to trim the excess wool away at the end, which is a great way to get all those fibers off your project, make it look nice, neat, and tidy, that you're just not going to spend the time felting to get all tucked in. And this kit also has an ebook to help you get started. I also have plenty of tutorials and a whole beginners playlist on this channel. I'll be sure and link that down in the description below for you too. So now let's talk about wool a little bit more. I use a core wool on a lot of my projects because I like to save my colored wool as much as I can. It is a little bit pricier than the core wool, but depending on the size of your creation, you might not even need a core wool. If it's really small or like a little simple felted heart, this core wool could come through the color. And so if you're just getting started, you might just need a simple color. Another thing about core wool is this is usually a mix of wool. It's just bone colored. It's nothing special. It's like undyed wool, and it's really soft and pliable and easy to felt into the object that you're looking to create. I'll be sure and link some of this down for you below. It's some Cordale roving, and for 8 ounces it's going to cost you about $15.95 depending on shipping or not, which isn't too bad of a price. There's a lot of options for this online, so do spend some time searching around if you want, but I'll link some for you too. Let's talk a little bit more about the foam pad. I'm going to link one of these for you down below. It's going to be a 9x12x12, and it's just going to cost you under $12. You're going to want a dense foam pad. Be careful when you're purchasing these. You don't want a cheap one that's going to risk just breaking away into your project. They do that over time. I keep the wool on my project. That kind of keeps the foam from breaking away. You'll see brushes on the market. I don't recommend them as much as I recommend a foam piece. Another great thing is it will hold your needle while you're working. Now let's talk about needles. I got started with these. I absolutely love them. I recommend them. They are a heavyweight needle. Don't let needles intimidate you with all the types that there are. They have a little barbed end, and that's going to be what pulls the wool and condenses it for you. These ones work with a lot of types of wool because they are a heavyweight, and they come with 5 needles, so then that way if you accidentally break one into your project, you have one on hand. I love that they come in the plastic to store them in. Again, these are Clover USA's heavyweight needle, and this little package costs about $16.95. You might be able to find them even cheaper than that, around $10, but that's actually fairly decent for that many needles. Now let's talk about wool a little bit more again. If you are looking to buy just individual colors, maybe you only want to make 1 or 2 themes and you just need some red or some blue, I'm going to link some merino wool below for you. It's about 3.5 ounces, so you'll be able to make a handful of themes, because this is about 1 ounce, and I would say it would make about 1 or 2 hearts depending on how big you want them. And that'll run just under $15 as well for 3.5 ounces. And then here, to just give you a little bit of an idea, this is just about 1 ounce of wool. So this heart is about 1/2 ounce of wool. So you could probably make 2 good hearts about this size with about 1 ounce of wool. And then something that's important to keep in mind about wool, you kind of get what you pay for. Cheaper wool is probably not going to be the quality that a more expensive wool might be. Like this stuff was a much higher price per ounce compared to these 2 items. And then also how processed the wool is, that is going to factor in on the cost a little bit too. From the dye, the type of breed of wool, its fleece, or if you're just even using a pretty basic wool like this one, which is a combo of breeds. Another great option is you can buy packages of wool, wisteria ends. They have some combo packs of colors, which is about 2 ounces of wool, and those range anywhere from $8 to about $20, give or take, depending on the color combo that you pick. And I'll be sure and link that for you too. So now let's wrap all this back together. If you just want to get a kit and not have to worry about picking all your little things out, I would go with the $20 one below. Give it a try, check it out. It's a great way to get started. If you're thinking you might really want to invest in this, but you don't want to go too far yet, get a foam pad, get some needles, get just a single color wool or a combo wool package, and that will cost you just a little over 40 bucks. And if you find you really love it, then you can start adding supplies and you're good to go. You don't just have that little kit with all just the little things and then needing to rebuy a bigger foam piece or rebuy some more needles, but you will be pretty set on wool with that kit. So something to keep in mind with a kit though, if you run out of that wool that it came in it might be very hard to replace that. So if you're working on a project and you want to recreate it, having a place where you can access just more of that wool outside of the kit is a really great option. Next, if you're really thinking you're going to want to felt and some larger objects and you're going to want to get a core wool, have the colored wool to wrap around it, maybe some combo color packages or just 2 or 3, 4 of colors of wool, some needles, the foam pad. You can get all these things around $60, give or take on how many color options you're purchasing for yourself. When I first got started, I had about 5 colors and I think I invested just around $100, maybe even it was more like 60 or 80. Which is really not that much if you are truly looking for a great hobby that you can do and really be creative and create almost anything that you'd like to. So to wrap this up, needle felting is going to cost you anywhere from $20 to $40 to $60 to $100 depending on what route you're going to want to take. I hope this helps you decide, gives you some options. Be sure and check those links out when you get done watching this. I hope you enjoyed today's video, learned something new. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and as always, share my videos where you can. And if there's something you'd like to see me felt, drop it down in the comments below. I might just make it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy felting!